everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another glam Halloween look. This one involves a ton of glitter though, because I am turning myself into Dazzler from Marvel Comics. And I think at one point she becomes an X-Men. So either way, I have my Marvel shirt on. I have my Rogue and Gambit t-shirt on today for this look. And I apparently have really been feeling the blondes lately because I did Trixie, I did Cinderella, and now I'm doing Dazzler. So I need to get some brunettes in here and represent my people. So for starters, I am starting with my base. I just did my normal brightening primer and then my matte primer from e.l.f. just so that we have a nice good grip. And then I use my Pretty Fresh foundation from ColourPop on a sponge. Nothing very different here for this look. Dazzler is a superhero if you're not familiar. Her whole thing is like she's a singer and that's her powers. Like she can use her voice in different ways. It's very Black Canary, but she is slated to come up in some new Marvel movies, and there's been talks that Taylor Swift is going to play her or Miley Cyrus, so I think we'll get like a big name for that, which is kind of cool. But concealer wise, I just threw some around my under eye and on my lid, and then a little down the bridge of my nose. And then for my eyebrows, I just shaped them up with my Thick It and Slick It brow gel kind of putty stuff from NYX, just to wake them up and fill them in a bit. And then I set this all with my Laura Geller translucent powder. For blush, I used this cushion blush that I just got. It's kind of this pinky coral. It came in my mom's Ipsy bag, and she's not like a big makeup girl, so she gives me a lot of those products. So I decided to use this one, and I really liked the color. I tried to blend it out as much as I could with the tip applicator, but I have zero patience for that. So then I went in with a buffing brush and started blending it out just to give me that nice rosy cheekbones. You can really do whatever you want for the base and the contour, really, as long as you just give yourself a little glam, because Dazzler is, according to her name, very dazzling, and her voice, I think, is part of that. Like, she can manipulate people with it. But yeah, that's why she's like an international rock star sensation, and then she's also an X-Men. So for highlight, I decided to use this creamy duochrome one that I have that is white and blue. If you look up pictures of her, she dresses in all white. She usually has like feathered hair, very 70s disco. She is pretty cool. And for this particular look, I referenced this very particular image that I found, and I will insert it here because I absolutely saw this picture and was like, I have to do Dazzler for Halloween. Like, she was not on my list to do this year, but I saw this picture and was like, yes, I absolutely need to do it. So for the eye look, this one is very non-traditional. So you're going to want to start with a blue pencil and just outline the shape of her eyes. After you see the picture, you'll be like, yes, obviously this makes sense. But if you miss the picture, then you're going to think it looks weird. She doesn't really wear a mask, but she does always have this kind of crazy eye makeup, whether it's as big as I'm doing now or a little bit smaller. She always has this like disco blue look. So after you draw the shape, which is kind of, it almost looks like flames, but kind of like Kiss inspired. I don't know, it has the little points and then the 3 points at the bottom to make her little mask. You're just going to want to fill that in with a blue shadow. You can skip the step if you want, but whenever I'm doing something really full glitter like this, I like to lay down a base color just in case there's any gaps, or as you wear it, if you experience some fallout, it's not so noticeable and looks much less patchy. So this is a Tokidoki shadow that I had that perfectly matched the glitter that I wanted to use, and also is very much just like a Dazzler blue whenever you look at anything with her aesthetic. There are a few versions of her where she has very short hair, and I think it's just from one particular comic series. She has really, really short hair. It's like a pixie cut, and she wears like jeans, so I don't know if she's more of like a punk rocker in that version, and kind of more like Black Canary. I'm not sure, but I went with the disco version because I think that's the fun one. So after I filled in with all the shadow, I started adding my NYX glitter primer. You can use lash glue if you want, but this stuff is much easier to take off than lash glue, and it doesn't take as much product. Then I went in with my Sin Cosmetics glitter. This is in VIP, and it's this gorgeous blue teal shade. I think I've maybe used it once or twice, but definitely not enough. So you are just going to want to pack this all over the lid, all over that space that you outlined, but make sure you don't go through your eyebrows. One thing I noticed in all of her looks is her eyebrows are still pretty defined, and she doesn't glitter them. So make sure you leave your eyebrows there. You could even darken them up if you wanted to make them look more comic-y and cartoonish, but I really wanted it to be like Dazzler come to life, so I just kind of left my eyebrows where they were. Honestly, this was the longest part of the look, trying to fill in so much space with all of this glitter, but that's why I love this primer, because I can really use it and get in there, and you can even go back in with another layer if you need to. So after all the painstaking work to fully glitter my face, I added on some mascara, and I loved once I added the mascara and lashes for this, because I think it just brought the eyes so much together and like forward. The black just jumps out so much on this blue. And then I did add a little half lash just to glam it up a little bit, because like, how am I not gonna wear a lash with this, you know? But I just did a little half lash so it wouldn't overtake. And then here it is with the wig. I obviously had to put on a long blonde wig for this. And then for the lips, she has these sparkly pink lips. They are always super, super pink. So I went in with my pink liner and then this MAC lipstick that is super pink and sparkly. You guys have seen me use it before. I thought it was just perfect for this like disco diva sort of look. If you have like big hoop earrings, you can add that. She always has on like a bunch of jewelry. And then I added some body glitter as well, just because I wanted to be as sparkly as possible for this. So this is just that little white powder kind of body highlight. I think I've shown you all a few times before. It got really big on TikTok a little while ago. But you just kind of pat it and everything's in the little tube. It's nice and convenient and isn't messy like body powder can be. But this is the makeup look, and then this is what I did with the costume. I did 2 pairs of tan tights, 1 pair of rhinestone fishnets, and then a pair of thigh-high white socks to make like boots. And then I put on this silver belt that I actually got when I did Starfire last year. The leotard is literally an old dance costume I had, and that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you with a brunette character next time, I promise.